When people debate Lil Wayne's best work, the conversation usually circles around the Carter II or the Carter III. Those albums are monumental, packed with hits, and often credited with solidifying Wayne's claim as the best rapper alive. But there's another project that rarely gets the same recognition. An album where Wayne didn't just rap, he experimented, he pushed boundaries, and he built a twisted sonic universe. It wasn't always clean, it wasn't always pretty, but it was raw, fearless, and unforgettable. That album is I Am Not a Human Being 2. Released in 2013, this project found Wayne at a crossroads. He had already conquered mainstream hip-hop, dominated radio, and proven he could out-rap nearly anyone. But here, he leaned into something different, something darker. This wasn't the polished superstar Wayne from the Carter III, or the mixtape monster from Dedication 2. This was Wayne as a villain, a horrorcore anti-hero, a rock star trapped in a rapper's body. Across 15 tracks, he takes listeners on a descent into chaos, blending sinister production, shocking imagery, and moments of surprising vulnerability. It's an album that feels less like a collection of singles and more like a haunted house. Every door you open leads to something strange, unsettling, and oddly fascinating. So let's step inside. The descent begins with IANAHB. From the first piano keys, the atmosphere is sinister. The instrumental doesn't just play in the background, it lurks. Wayne enters with venom, declaring himself not just different from other rappers, but different from other humans entirely. He paints himself as something otherworldly, a creature who thrives in darkness. His flow is sharp, his metaphors gruesome, and his delivery dripping with menace. As an intro, it's brilliant. It doesn't just set the tone, it warns you. This album isn't about partying or radio-friendly pop. It's about stepping into the mind of someone who proudly claims he's not human.
And I get here while it's decapitated. Think it's a game, nigga, come play.
That darkness seeps into Curtains. The beat is smoother here, but still carries an eerie late-night energy. Wayne spits raunchy, over-the-top bars, but instead of feeling out of place, they work within this twisted world. Boo's feature gives the track a conversational quality, like two figures trading stories in the shadows. Even Wayne's use of auto-tune feels intentional, bending his voice into something that almost sounds inhuman.
They say the best things in life are free, that's why it costs for you to get murked. In my pants sagging like...
By the time we reach Days and Days, the album has momentum. The beat is infectious, hard-hitting, layered with samples, and built for replay value. The hypnotic female vocal sample loops in the background like a spell being cast. Wayne and 2 Chainz trade verses about indulgence and excess, embodying the chaotic energy of their lifestyles. It's fun, but in a warped way, like partying at the edge of a cliff. That sense of danger explodes on Gunwalk. This track could sit comfortably in 3 6 Mafia's catalog, and that's not by accident. Juicy J himself pops up at the end. The production is pure trap menace, complete with the iconic Yahoo ad-lib. Wayne thrives in this environment. He turns his limp into his gun walk, a metaphor that's equal parts clever and chilling. Gutta Gutta, often criticized as one of Young Money's weaker links, delivers here too, bringing intensity that matches Wayne's. Together they create one of the album's hardest cuts.
I'm strapped up, nigga, fuck a gun law. See me walking with a limp, that's my gun.
But just as the darkness threatens to consume the album, Wayne flips the script with no worries. This is Wayne at his most chaotic and carefree. You can hear him bouncing around the booth, laughing, experimenting, and having fun. His delivery is wild, unrestrained, and Detail's hook ties it together into something undeniably catchy. It doesn't break the album's vibe. It offers a momentary release, like opening a window in a pitch black room. That release doesn't last long though. Back to You pulls us back into the abyss, this time through Wayne's rebirth-inspired rock phase. The guitar-driven instrumental provides the backdrop for one of Wayne's most emotional performances. He's not bragging here, he's pleading, unraveling, laying bare his frustrations and desires. His voice cracks with desperation, especially when he threatens to call someone else to satisfy his needs. It's messy, raw, and deeply human. In the middle of all this darkness, Wayne reveals a vulnerability that makes the track unforgettable.
Girl, just give me that brain, and I'll return the favor. Them hoes say I'm a...
Then comes Trigger Finger. If IANAHB was the introduction to Wayne's monstrous alter ego, this is the full reveal. Over a sinister, tension-filled beat, he raps about murder with disturbing casualness, painting scenes that feel too intimate, too wrong. That's the essence of horror rap, taking something unthinkable and describing it like a daily routine. Soulja Boy surprisingly adds to the vibe. His verse is short but fitting, making the track feel even more unsettling.
Rest in peace to the game, tell them kill theyself. Make your
But not every experiment lands. Beat the Shit, featuring Gunplay, tries to inject EDM elements into the horrorcore template. The result is messy. Wayne and Gunplay bring raw aggression, but the beat doesn't fit the atmosphere of the rest of the album. It feels like a detour, and while Wayne's energy keeps it listenable, it's clearly one of the weaker tracks. Thankfully, the album rebounds with Rich as Fuck. This is the Flex Anthem, a braggadocious celebration of wealth and status. The production is sample-driven, smooth yet heavy, and Wayne glides across it with ease. 2 Chainz owns the hook, adding swagger and confidence. Together, they create one of the most infectious songs on the project, a reminder that Wayne can still dominate radio even when diving into darker territory. That swagger rolls into Trippy, where Juicy J joins Wayne for a drugged out anthem. The beat is hypnotic, spinning and swirling like the room itself is high. The trippy kit they rap about, weed drank and pills, becomes the centerpiece of the track. It's intoxicating, disorienting, and perfectly in line with the album's sinister aura. But if Trippy is the high, Love Me is the come down into madness. This track is the album's crown jewel. From its haunting production to the infamous line, "She loved me like Satan," it captures everything Wayne wanted to achieve with this project. Drake and Future's hook is hypnotic, almost demonic in tone, and Wayne floats over the beat with confidence. It's dark, it's catchy, it's mainstream horrorcore, and it works.
The tone chick got that fire, and these hoes love me like Satan, man.
After that peak, Wayne slows the pace with Romance. Here he redefines love on his own terms, twisting the concept into something playful, dangerous, and unpredictable. The production is spacey and dreamy, but his lyrics keep it grounded in chaos. It's not romance in the traditional sense, it's Wayne's version, which means loyalty, lust, and madness intertwined. Then comes God Bless America. Much like his earlier Georgia Bush, Wayne uses this track to dive into political and social commentary. He raps about corrupt politicians, police brutality, and systemic hypocrisy with frustration and bitterness. The title itself is sarcastic. He's blessing the very system he despises. The production is gloomy, heavy, and perfectly suited for his message. It's one of the rare moments where Wayne steps outside his own world to address the larger one, and it's powerful.
God bless America. This old godless America.
Unfortunately, the album begins to stumble after this high point. Wowzers, featuring Trina, has flashes of brilliance. The Soulja Boy production even sounds like it borrows from the Halloween movie score, but the execution falters. The chorus feels corny, Wayne's metaphors are forced, and while Trina delivers energy, the track never quite clicks. And then there's Hello. The closing track is a heavy metal-inspired experiment that simply doesn't work. The frantic instrumental overpowers Wayne, whose delivery feels awkward and out of sync. Shane Hale's feature is even more jarring, completely disrupting the flow. Instead of ending the album on a dramatic, theatrical note, it closes with chaos that feels unpolished and unfinished.
Money overfill, a lipstick smear, a pussy little piss. Daddy gotta go after that again. Here's to your little.
So what do we make of I Am Not a Human Being 2? It's far from flawless. A couple of tracks stumble, and the closing stretch weakens its momentum. But taken as a whole, this album is Wayne at his most daring. It's a project that leans into horrorcore imagery, embraces experimental production, and reveals surprising vulnerability along the way. Tracks like IANAHB, Triggerfinger, and Love Me capture Wayne as the villain he wanted to be. Songs like Back to You and God Bless America show him wrestling with emotion and frustration. And moments like No Worries remind us that even in darkness, Wayne can still find chaotic joy. This album isn't just rap, it's theater, it's horror, it's chaos distilled into sound. And while it may not be his most commercially successful project, it might just be his most complete artistic statement. Because sometimes, the truest measure of genius isn't perfection, it's fearlessness. And I Am Not a Human Being 2 is Lil Wayne's greatest fearlessness experiment.